We are from group 4. We will presenting our material about adverbial clauses. And here I am named Alivia Oktaviona Wulandari and my friends Maria Imachulatha Abi, also Tia Angghita Nurul Aeni. So let's get started. Before we get into the topic of my group's discussion, namely adverbial clauses, I will make sure in advance to my friends so that it is easy to understand our presentation later. So the first adverbial clause usually starts immediately with conjunction. But a lot of those conjunctions are similar to or even identical to preposition with certain words. As we have learned during elementary grammar course in semester 1 about prepositions that aim to show a certain relationship with other words in a sentence.
Well, but is different from adverbial clauses. Namely, adverb clauses function as modifiers or explanation for verbs in a sentence. This adverb clause is usually preceded by a subordinate conjunction. Subordinate conjunction is a word of phrase that is used to connect dependent clauses and independent clauses.
Well, what is adverbial clause? Adverbial clause are dependent clause that function as adverbs, kata keterangan, and provide information about verbs, kata kerja, adjective, kata sifat, or adverbs that are independent clause with certainly answering question such as how, when, where, and why. Adverbial clause are a collection of words that describe adjective, verbs, or adverbs themselves, but have many types, namely adverbial clause of a time, adverbial clause of a place, adverbial clause of a manner, adverbial clause of a purpose and result, and adverbial clause of a reason. Here we will only discuss the four that we often use in our daily lives, namely time, place, contrast, and a reason. For others such as a time, manners, purpose, and result, we will only introduce them or only give any conjunction that are usually in use. For the first is adverbial clause of a time atau waktu. For example, in the adverbial clause, the time must have sentence before, after, when, while, as long as soon as, until, and since. This is called a conjunction or a subordinate conjunction to indicate that this is an adverbial clause of the time. Well, I will go to your house after I finish my lunch. Now, in the sentence, there are two clauses. The first is the main clauses, namely, I will go to your house. And the time clause here is after I finish my lunch. That's very simple to know where is main clause and where is clause of the time-nya. So, why is he called a dependent clause? Because he cannot stand alone, which he does not have a complete meaning when they eat just alone when there is no main clause.
Adverbial clause of place, because that place means a place which of course is curtain to explain the description of the place. And the conjunction used here is where, everywhere, nowhere, whenever, no place, and every place. For example, she lives where her parents live. Here we can look for direct conjunctions, namely where, and the conjunction of the sentence where is her parents live. And finally, it can be concluded that her parents live is the clause. And for the second example is, anywhere we go, I like it. So here maybe my friends can help answer what the conjunction sentence is. Now, here we can find the conjunction at the beginning, namely anywhere. So, anywhere we go, that is the clause. Here the sentence immediately begins with a conjunction, then there is a subject and a verb. And we need to remember when we find a conjunction at the beginning, we have to add the comma. The comma position must be after the verb as in the example above. And for the second is
Adverbial clause of a contrast. The point of a contrast here is that the initial statement is opposite to the next statement. So we can use this if we are going to say a sentence whose initial point is positive or negative and the second is opposite. Can be understood here? Okay, now the conjunction that is often used in this topic is though, even though, although, and while. For example, although she doesn't enjoy her job, she work hard, which means even though she doesn't enjoy her job, she still work hard. Now, in the first statement, we know that she doesn't like her job, and as we can see in the real world, if we don't like something, then we try to stay away from it as much as possible, right? However, in the second statement, she even said work hard, which means she worked hard. So, even though she doesn't like it, she still work hard. So there is a contrast in this one sentence. Now, let's find out which conjunction. That is although as a conjunction and she as a subject, then doesn't enjoy as a verb. So we can conclude that this is an adverbial clause of a contrast.
Okay, now we move to the second example. There is a sentence that sounds like I got a good score even though I didn't study last night, which means I got good grades even though I didn't study last night. And where is the conjunction? So, here in the middle, the conjunction is even though, and I as the subject and didn't study as the verb. Okay, move to the next explanation about adverbial clause of reason, which is where this is to state the reason. The usual conjunctions used are whereas, because, as long as, in that. Okay, in adverbial clause, we have two examples. The first one is I got bad grades because I didn't study last night, and because it is here as a conjunction. And the second example of adverbial clause of reason is as it was raining, we didn't go out. So here, as is the conjunction. I think that's all from our group about adverbial clauses. And thanks for your attention. Have a good day.